Hello and welcome back to the Knitspinfibre podcast. Today is June 17th and it's a Wednesday. So this week I've got one finish. I finished my granddaughter's cardigan. I've got 3 whips. I've added a new one. And I've got a couple of acquisitions. I've got one of them will become a hat for my grandson. So first of all, and then I'll do general talk at the end. So first we're going to do finishes. So I finished the King Hole 3546 cardigan. I've done, it's got a V-neck but short sleeves. The only thing I found, I did check, because this is on Ravelry as well, I put all the details on, where you do the band all in one piece, and at one point where the join is, it's connected to the shoulder, they want you to pick up 27 stitches. Well, there's 49 stitches across the back as well as this front part, so there'd have been too many. And I was like, no, that cannot be right. So I actually picked up the right amount of stitches to this corner, and then picked up for the top of the sleeve and then across the back. And I checked, and a few other people have done that way, so there must be a mistake in the pattern, because the only thing I haven't put in is a button and I haven't blocked it yet. So yeah, and it was just like, well, it's going to be really tight across the top and it wouldn't last, and it wouldn't look very nice. So it is done. There's not much shaping in it, but there isn't meant to be much shaping in this one. But it is, once it's got the button on it, it will close even more. So it's done. So my yarn is, which I do have, the ball band. I have 100 grams left, so it took, because it was a 200 gram ball. So I used some Woolcraft Baby Care print, and the shade is 2634, and it is an acrylic yarn, which is, but it's nice and soft. She's not very good with like wool and that sort of stuff. She has very sensitive skin, and we've used this sort of yarn before and it works for her. So that is my only finish. And then I have enough here, maybe I can get something else out of that, or maybe a hat or something. So that is my finishes. But yes, so it was a bit annoying with this. And there's a bolero style, but that has got a different neckband altogether. So I don't know what the problem is, but I don't like this yarn. I've tried, I don't like it, it's quite splitty, and she won't be able to wear it because it would irritate it. It's got a little sequin in. So no, we don't use that yarn. Okay, so my knitting works in progress. I'm still working on Musselburgh Hat by Isolde Teague, and I printed this out into a little booklet form because it was ideal, because this one goes wherever I go. I'm using some King Hole zigzag in the Bluebird colourway, and it's 75% superwash, 25% nylon. And I'm using some Signet Trudy Wool Rich in the royal blue. They are my tags. I'm going to put them back in there as I'll end up losing them. So I have with me, I think it's in here. I'll put it in there. I have, a little mini scales, which I will keep in the bag because I need to check. I do have more of it. I'm just trying to use up as much of this one I can before I use any more. So I have like a little tiny baby. It's ideal. You just put batches into it. So I've still got quite a bit left, and it's sitting in a yarn cozy that is a pattern from Knitty Natty. I've been doing all the different yarn cozies. I need to make some more. So whatever yarn, I still have some of this left, and I think it's in my box. I've been organising my boxes. And I'm using some Knit Pro Basics. And these are the short set. I can't think of these 16 inches. I think they're 16 inches, and they are a US 2, which is a 2.75mm. So I moved up my marker yesterday, so I need to check how much I've done. I can't remember how much I've got to do from there to there, because that would be check. I think it's either 5.5 or 6. I have got a marker in, so I need to put another marker back on here and then there, so I know how much to knit. So I've done quite a bit. You did some at the weekend, and we was away at the weekend, and I took my knitting with me and I left it in the car, and it was like, well, why did you leave it in the car? But I'll explain where we went to in a bit. But it's mainly travel knitting, so if we go in the car on the bus, that's what I tend to take. I shall leave it down there. My other one, I am knitting a pair of socks for myself. These are going to be socks that I take out, and they will go out to Cyprus next time I go, and they will stay there. So I am doing the vanilla is the new black, which is the heel. So I'm doing that. I am doing the small. I think I'm doing 60 stitches. And I've got both of them on. I've started both, and I'm dropping stuff. I do need to order another set of Chowgu. I would like a fixed set of sock needles. These are my interchangeable sock needles. My yarns are, I have my yarn ones, that's why I'm doing them on some West Yorkshire spinners in the Blue Lagoon colourway. So this one is the variegated stripe yarn, and then this is the plain, and the plain one is in Blueberry Bonbon. So they are my yarns, and they're 75% superwash, 25% nylon. So that's my contrast is that colour, and I like to deliver in some more yarn cozies. These are the 50 grams, and she does, I think it's a 20 gram, 50 gram and 100 gram. I can't remember if there's any other sizes. They're the sizes I tend to do. So put that one there. Right. It's living in this bag. The bag does not match at all. I need to find and I have another blue bag. I need to find the other one, but I haven't got any more of this fabric to make any more. It's fine. So I'm doing them on a US 1. I think it's a 1, which is a 2.25mm. These are my interchangeable sock needles from Chowgu, and then the other ones are my Knit Pro because I've only got one set. I think I got another set somewhere, but I'm not quite. I think they're in use. So I've started the leg of the second one this morning, and I've done 14 rows of the cuff, and I'm doing 50 rows of the leg. So I'm going to put markers in every 10 rounds, so I know every 10th round, so I know I get it right. And I managed to actually get them so they are the same, which I was quite pleased with. So they will be the same when they're done. My other one is I am on the shaping for the Vanilla's the New Black, and I'm going to coordinate it with the contrast. I'm going to do the toes in the contrast as well. I have enough. I need to weigh it. That's why I wanted to check. But I know I've got loads, so it should be fine. And then I'm going to I've got some little tiny, my stitch markers are, they are some little turtles, and I've got another one. I'm going to put one on the other one. I've got the other one downstairs. So I need to actually move it up. So I've done that. So I did that yesterday. So I did quite a bit. And these ones are my Knit Pro Nova. I don't think these ones are not too bad. The joins on these are nice. I've got one pair with the join bits out. They're not nice to work with. I don't tend to use them. So they are living in this one. And I have it, the pattern on my Knit Companion, but I wanted it in paper form. So if I go anywhere, it just means I don't have to muck around taking anything to actually have the pattern on. I can just mark off with a pencil. So that is living in that bag. So that is knitting. So they are living in that basket together. The only other work in progress is crochet. So I am working on, and I didn't say what this pattern was called. This pattern is the Granny Love Blanket by Mima Makes, and I'm using some the main colour is some Yarnsmith's Create Baby DK in the baby silver, and my contrast, I'm only put whatever contrast in as I need when I need it, is some Yarnsmith's Create Double Knit, and this one is the Fondant Pink. That's my next colour. So I did move up my marker, but I did from there, I did 1, 2, 3, I did 5 rounds, and I'm on round 6. So I've just moved my marker up for this week, and I am there. And then once I've done 2 or 3 rounds, I'm actually sewing in the ends as I go, because I'm not dealing with these ends at the end. Just get nice and big. I want it to be around about 60 inches once it's done. So I've done, I am on 1, 2, 3, I'm on the 4th repeat section. I think yes, I'm on the 4th repeat section. So it's quite nice. And I'm going to do 2 more repeats and see how big it is. I'll measure it and see what it looks like. And I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. And I can't remember when I started this. The cardigan I started June 8th, finished it June 16th. The hat was May 7th, May 8th, and we're still working on that. And then yesterday was the socks, so I need to write down what the dates are for the socks and the hat, so I remember. So that is everything I've been working on. So each pouch has got a little bag with all the bits like needles and scissors and stuff that I want in there. So no, I'm not going to go looking for things. And then I have this little bag, so if I get any finishes, acquisitions, I'm shoving them in this one. I have another one, but it's not quite big enough. I'm just going to use that because it's empty now. So I have one yarn acquisition. I need to actually put some material inside to make it soft. The other one I got might work. I'm not sure if it's big enough. So I picked up some Cascade 220, and on Wool Warehouse it's saying it's DK weight, but on here it says it's a medium 4, and so this one must be the Aran, because it says the needles are a US 7, which is a 4.5 to a 5mm, so I need to check. I think this is like worsted weight. and this is going to end up being a hat for my grandson. So this is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, and I paid like £1.20 or something like that, and it wasn't even wound up. I actually wound it up, but it was like just all screwed up with tight, and I just seen it and I was like, oh, full one. And I thought that will make a hat for grandson for the autumn, will be ideal. One he can keep here, so when it's really cold he's got a nice warm hat. My other acquisition, we want my local car boot. Oh, I've just lost it. I have 2 grandchildren. They live in Cyprus and they wanted to learn how to do some crocheting, so I picked up this one. It was a little kit. I think I paid like 50p for it. It has all the bits. I have more cheap crochet thread. I do have some plastic canvas as well somewhere, which I can take out. But these ones, they're quite nice size. They look like that. Quite big. And that's the other one. And it's got the needle, it's got the instructions, and it had some threads of it and some ribbon. I'll put some other bits in with it as well. And then if they don't want these colours, they can change them for whatever. It doesn't really matter. I just thought that was good to teach them. And they're quite nice size. And then they can be hung up. So they will be going out with me when we go, and then they can cut them out as well. So I thought that was ideal. So I'm going to put that away, but I most probably will just flatten the box, or take it out of the box and just put the picture in. So the only other thing I've got, my daughter wants a darker blue cardigan making for granddaughter, and I have a Patterns, it's called Princess Tale Knits Fairy Tale books for DK weight and 4-ply, and I'm thinking this cardigan is in DK weight. And I have some Starcraft Special DK in royal blue, so I've sent her a picture, and I would do that and then put some little pearly buttons or something on. So I'm going to see what she thinks for that colour, because she wanted a darker blue that she can wear with dresses and stuff, but she wanted a pretty cardigan. And I've already made this one. I think she's got this one in white, so it knits up lovely. So we shall see what she says about that, about the actual. And if she likes it, what I tend to do with that one, I tend to scan the pattern, so I'm not working from the book, so I don't damage the book. And then it can go into. It'll go in this bag. Anything I can do for my granddaughter, for the girls, goes into this bag. I have another one, but I prefer this one. It's nice and soft. So that'll get put into, I've got a basket there, we can go in there for now. That's the way. But so that is everything I've been working on. So at the weekend we had grandson, because they went to there was a download music festival in the UK, and it's a Derby. So Derby is Castle Donington, it's about 30 minutes from here. And Saturday morning I had the morning to myself. He took him to Great Central Railway, so they went on the steam train in the morning. But on the Sunday we went car boot in the morning. That's where I got the bath from. And then we went to the Aeroplane Museum, which is at Castle Donington. It's right next door to East Midlands Airport. It's like you could actually, they had 2 mounds, and you could see the airport at one, but you could see the main arena at Download and then we got there for 3 o'clock. I think it was 3 o'clock, or just after 3 o'clock. We were there for about an hour and a half. It's not very expensive to get in, it's like £5 an adult. But you can spend the whole afternoon there. And then we were sat there for like about half hour, and then we heard a siren go off, and we had the red arrows go past. They flew past at 1:30, and they flew past again. So this place is all run by, it's all voluntary run. And if I can get a chance, I'll put a picture up here. And there's got 28 different planes and vehicles. I think there's 28 planes. One of them was a big bomber in the middle, and it was absolutely huge. It was bigger than this room. So yeah, so we did, but it's the flyover for the main airport. So and there was helicopters going up, and little planes and all sorts going up. So, yeah, so that was good. But at 4 o'clock at the main arena, I don't know who was on. We heard some music, and then we heard very, very loud cheering, but that was at the main arena. I don't know who was playing. Hopefully my son-in-law, I need to ask him who was playing at 4 o'clock. But yeah, but we heard it. So that's what we did Sunday. And then yesterday we didn't know anything because he was tired. He's only 2. So we had a very busy weekend. But we've got children next weekend. Mum and Dad have got a wedding in Scotland, and it coincides with school, so the children are coming to us from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I think it is. And I think we might take them up to the airplane museum on one of the days, one of the weekend days, and spend like the afternoon there and take a picnic, because you can take food and stuff in there. So I might do that. And like I said, I actually took my knitting, left it in the car. Didn't think to go back and go and get it, but this time I will. I'll make sure I've got something to sit on, blanket and stuff on the floor, and take some knitting with me. And they can go off and do what they want, and I'll just sit there and be happy. Unless it's raining, then we won't be going. So, but that's it. So our plans is to, I'd like to try, I want to try and get at least one of these 2 finished this week. That won't be started till the autumn anyway. There won't be so once one of them are finished, I'm going to start her cardigan. I'd need to get at least, I finished one. She's got a white one at home. I want to do a fingering weight cardigan as well. And I'm thinking I've got like some baby blue here. Something I might do something like that colour. I'd like to go at least another 2 or 3 more cardigans that I can take out, but she needs a couple to have here as well. But for now I shall go, and I shall speak to you all next week. I'll see you later.